we're going to have a problem over the next 25 years. We're going to move from what's anticipated to double our withdrawal and water projections, groundwater withdrawal by the year 2050 from the Floridian aquifer. Liberty counties and Bryan counties are totally dependent on withdrawal from the Floridian aquifer, and all this does is going to pull these counties together to begin discussions on how we're going to fix this problem, and all sources of water are going to be on the table. That's all that it does, Madam Chairman.
Does the committee have any questions for the bill's author? Yes.
Why would we need to do this? Why can't they just come together and do that without a resolution?
We love stuff down in Savannah and Chatham and Effingham. We just don't work together. This basically brings it together to bring some recommendations. It's been the same way for, water wars. We just heard of one today. Matter of fact, Representative Hardin over here has gotten scars, but this basically pulls the interested parties together so that we can begin to formulate those policies. Good question.
Any other questions? Yes.
I have the same question, but just a follow-up. The counties are involved, or they all have water authorities or provide their water sources. Are they in agreement to bring this task force together?
There's some question, and there's resistance, as you might imagine, but this is something that's going to have to be done. The saltwater intrusion's coming, whether we like it or not, and it's something we're going to have to deal with. Representative Wilkinson here already knows of it down in his other districts, so we know of how saltwater intrusion, once it gets here, you can't undo it.
Any other questions? I know that on this bill, I've been appraised that there is a need for some comment from our EPD. If anyone else wishes to testify on this bill, please come up here and indicate such to Buck Dixon for us.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee, and Chairman Stevens. Some of you were on the coast in September of last year for the Natural Resource Committee and heard about some of these water issues firsthand. A few years ago, EPD led some efforts with folks of South Carolina and other stakeholders on TMDL issues and did a very good job working together on water quality issues in the harbor. We have already been working on this process with saltwater intrusion, and frankly would love to lead the similar type effort that we did with the TMDL efforts. Tuesday, when I was over here working frantically with Representative Hardin to get a certain bill across, I had a draft letter going out to the 33 permit holders that have permits in the Floridian aquifer, and it's to pull each of those 33 permit holders together as a start and let them have their own say first, and then continue moving forward, letting the folks that are involved have ownership in how we get this saltwater intrusion solution, and working with South Carolina in a nice, happy way with another state to solve a water issue. And I think this is a positive thing. EPD is looking to hire a facilitator, so it's an independent person running the relationship with each of these permittees, and at some point elected officials, and also South Carolina. But we think we're moving forward in the right way, and I would just like to say I'd appreciate the opportunity to let EPD continue moving forward with this, and I'd like to think that the resolution is at this point not necessary, but I do believe the state involvement is necessary in order to make this a success with the local permittees. Thank you.
Any questions? For my clarification, just want to be sure that there is a letter that's going to go out now to the permit holders in the area. So, Chairman Stevens, do you wish to comment on this at all? Just waiting on the letter. At this point in time, I'm not going to call for a vote on this bill, as it looks like something's in the process and working. But as with everything that comes before this committee, we will address it if the need arises. I do have one thing I want to tell you for next week. It's an announcement. It's the interim day. The last day is March the 20th. On March the 19th, we will have a joint committee meeting, Chairman Brooks Coleman and myself, and we'll be looking and hearing from people who have worked through the extension office, through private businesses, through a public school system to develop water curriculums for a middle school and a high school. And so they will be our guest. We will do a shared meeting with that. And then after that, our committees will have a light lunch. So that's your interim day, and you're at loose ends anyway. So just check with our office for that day for credit for your per diem. But it's the 19th. I think it's going to start at 11. We think it's still being worked on, but the anticipated time is 11 o'clock. Room 606 CLOB. We're hoping to webcast that as reference. We've had interest from Georgia's Clean and Beautiful program and other extension offices and other education school boards who want to see how this initiative is working. So we thought the best way to make it available would be to have it webcast as well. And then we'll adjourn from there. And so we got more details to come, but just put it on your radar for the 19th. I think that's next Wednesday. And again, don't go 5 miles over the speed limit to make up the time you spent here today. I want to thank you so much for coming, and have a good weekend. Thank you.